Welcome, my dear listener. Before we begin, find a quiet place, a place where the only sound you hear is my voice. Take a deep breath and relax. Tonight, I will tell you a story of a place, a forest, where whispers never stop. Are you ready to listen to the whispers of the forgotten? Let's begin. Story: The Whispering Forest. There is a forest, hidden deep in the heart of the mountains, where sunlight never reaches the ground. The trees are so thick, their branches intertwining in a way that even on the brightest of days, the forest remains dark and cold. This forest is known as the Whispering Forest, but not many dare to venture inside. Those who do never come back. The locals speak in hushed tones about the forest. They say that on the eve of the full moon, the forest comes alive with whispers, soft, eerie whispers, as if the trees themselves are speaking to each other. Some say the whispers are just the wind, but those who have ventured deep into the woods know better. Many years ago, a group of travelers made the mistake of entering the forest. They were curious, eager to prove that the whispers were just stories, just the wind. They laughed, they joked, and they continued deeper into the woods, unaware of the presence that lingered around them. As they ventured deeper, the air grew colder, heavier. The whispers grew louder, and yet no one was around. The group stopped, their laughter fading as they listened closely. "Do you hear that?" one of them asked, his voice trembling. "No, it's just the wind," another replied. But it wasn't the wind. It was something else, something older, something that had been waiting. The whispers grew clearer, and suddenly they could hear their names being called. Michael, Sarah, James. The voices were soft, almost like a whisper in the ear, but they were unmistakable. They turned around, their hearts racing, but there was no one there, just the dark, dense trees surrounding them. Sarah, the bravest of the group, called out into the forest, "Who's there?" The forest answered her, but it wasn't a voice she recognized. It was a soft, ghostly murmur. "Leave, or become one of us." The others tried to laugh it off, but Sarah's face grew pale. The air around them felt thick with unease. Then they saw her, just behind a tree, standing in the shadows, her long, tattered dress flowing in the breeze. Her face was pale, her eyes dark and hollow. "Sarah," the voice whispered again, but this time it was coming from her. It was her voice, but it wasn't. She turned to her friends, her eyes wide with fear, but when they looked back at the shadowy figure, she was gone. The group turned to leave, but the whispers followed them. They became louder, more insistent, as if the trees themselves were trying to keep them there. The sounds were no longer just whispers. They were voices, calling out, begging for help, but not from the living. One by one, they started to disappear, swallowed by the forest. Michael was the first to go, vanishing into the shadows without a trace. Then James, then Sarah. The forest had claimed them, just as it had claimed so many others before. The only one left was Anna. She ran, her heart pounding, her breath ragged, but no matter how fast she ran, the whispers never stopped. They were always there, right behind her, in her ear. And as she reached the edge of the forest, she turned to look back. She saw nothing. No shadows. No figures. Just the trees. standing silent in the darkness. But the whispers never stopped. Years later, Anna was found wandering near the forest, unable to speak, her mind lost to the voices that had claimed her soul. She never spoke again. To this day, no one knows what truly happens to those who enter the whispering forest. Some say they become part of the forest, their souls trapped between the trees, forever whispering to those who dare to listen. Others believe the forest is alive, feeding on the fear of those who enter, growing stronger with each soul it claims. And the whispers, they never stop. Be careful, dear listener. When you wander too deep, the forest is always waiting, and the whispers are always listening. Thank you for joining me tonight, my dear listener. I hope you are relaxed, even though the story might have sent a chill down your spine. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to come back and listen to more. Remember, the whispers are always out there, waiting. Until next time, sleep well, and may your dreams be peaceful.